Florida man remains behind bars nearly 2 years after his murder conviction was overturned. Crosley Green has been in prison for 3 decades for a crime he says he did not commit. While a federal judge overturned his conviction, his freedom depends on a decision from the U.S. Court of Appeals. Erin Moriarty investigates for this week's 48 Hours. She's followed this case for more than 20 years.
On March 12, 2020, Crosley Green's attorneys took on the state of Florida in front of the U.S. Court of Appeals.
Let me tell my story to the court system.
Nearly 2 years ago, a federal court overturned Green's conviction for the murder of Chip Flynn. Flynn was found shot in a Florida citrus grove on April 4, 1989.
Did I kill a young man?
After Flynn's ex-girlfriend, Kim Halleck, called 911 to report a shooting, Brevard County Deputy Sheriff Mark Rixey and Sergeant Diane Clark responded to the call.
Something is not ringing true. It didn't feel right.
Chip Flynn was bleeding from a single gunshot wound to his chest and later died. Kim Halleck claimed a black man had robbed and shot him.
The black guy stepped out with a gun, and I heard about 5 or 6 gunshots.
You don't see anybody else around. You don't see any shell casings, and it just makes you wonder.
It's unfortunately a classic case of what is often referred to as a racial hoax, which is a black guy did it.
Rixey and Clark met with then prosecutor Christopher White.
I told him I thought she did it.
White spoke with us in 2015.
I don't see how there's anything here concrete to tell anybody that Kim Halleck lied.
Mark and Diane suspect the girl did it.
White's notes from his meeting with Rixey and Clark were never turned over to Green's defense.
I knew immediately that this was a game changer.
And it was. It's what convinced the federal court to overturn Green's conviction. His attorneys now hope that the U.S. Court of Appeals will affirm that ruling. What's the best case here?
The court rules in our favor. At that point, we would move for Crosley's immediate release from prison.
I'm just hoping and praying that day comes soon.
And Erin Moriarty joins us now. Good morning, Erin. When is the court expected to rule on Green's case? And we heard a little about the best case scenario. What's the worst case for him?
Well, Anthony, what's really lucky here is that he got his oral arguments on March 12th before the country shut down. And so there is a good chance that he's going to get a ruling within 3 to 6 months. That's what his attorneys are hoping for. But can I just point out why I have stuck with this case so long and why it's important? His attorneys allege that Crosley Green is in prison because of a racial hoax, that his prosecution and his conviction happened because a witness said a black guy did it. And our reporting tomorrow really supports that. And clearly, that should not be happening in this country. So the worst case in this, of course, is that the U.S. Court of Appeals will agree with the state of Florida and rule against him, and he will stay in prison.
All right, Erin Moriarty. Thanks, Erin. You can see Erin's report, Crosley Green's Hard Time, tomorrow at 10, 9 Central, right here on CBS.